Alright, it's time to rank some more players. Today we're going to be doing first base, which means we are ranking the best first baseman from every team in Major League Baseball. Of course, this is part of a bigger series that I'm doing on my channel called the 12 Days of Rankings, which I rank every single position, and I'll be ranking every single player in the 12 days leading up to Christmas this year. A link to the playlist will be in the description down below, but remember, you can also subscribe to the channel so that when the new videos come out, you don't miss out on them. Remember to leave a like on the video. That's the best way to show your support as well. Get in that comment section down below. Let me know what you think about my rankings, or you can tell me your own rankings. I'd love to hear what you have to say. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. So coming in as the worst, I gotta go with Chris Davis of the Baltimore Orioles. This seems like the blatantly obvious pick. I mean, he started off the season, what, like 0 for 20 or 0 for 40 this year? The last few seasons for Chris Davis have been a nightmare. He used to be a guy who hit for power, but last year he only hit a total of 21 extra base hits, a 326 slugging percentage, 601 OPS. Those numbers are just horrible. That's coming off 2018 where he had a 539 OPS and a slugging percentage under 300. Chris Davis just doesn't have it anymore. Without a doubt, the worst first baseman in the league. Coming in at the number 29 spot, we've got the younger version of Chris Davis, Ryan O'Hearn, who's another big lefty power hitter who really didn't hit for much power last year and struggled mightily at the plate. 14 homers, 13 doubles, and 38 RBIs in 105 games, 195 batting average, 281 on base, 369 slugging, and a 650 OPS. For a guy who's not good defensively at first base, you need to see better numbers out of him offensively, and you're just not seeing it. He had a great 44 game stretch his rookie season, but 2019 was just bad. Ryan O'Hearn, number 29. Coming in at the number 28 spot, I'm gonna go with the Texas Rangers first baseman Ronald Guzman. Guzman is a huge dude. 6'5", might even be 6'7", really. I've seen him in person, he's huge. But the power numbers just really aren't there. Hits for a low average, only has a career high of 16 homers, which came in 2018. Doesn't walk a whole lot, low slugging percentage. Pretty nice in the field, got some good scoops, but at the plate just really isn't good enough for me just yet. Lifetime 229 hitter, 307 on base, 415 slugging, and a 722 OPS. For first base, which is a position usually dominated by offense, I need to see a little bit more out of Ronald Guzman before he gets higher up on this list. At number 27, I'm gonna go with Detroit Tigers first baseman Brandon Dixon, who somehow was one of the better offensive players on the team last year despite only playing in 117 games and not really having good numbers. 15 homers, 20 doubles, 4 triples, and 52 RBIs, 248 batting average, 290 on base, 435 slugging, and a 725 OPS. All of his offensive numbers are below average by a pretty good margin. Doesn't walk a lot, plays a terrible first base. It's not really his main position. He's really only the first baseman because the Tigers just have nobody else that they can put there. So yeah, Brandon Dixon just not very good. For the 26th best first baseman in Major League Baseball, I'm gonna go with Austin Nola of the Seattle Mariners. Now, Nola played in only 79 games last year, going into his age 30 season, so he's a bit of a late bloomer. Didn't have a terrible year, but I just don't know how much I'm really gonna expect to see out of this guy in the coming years. It doesn't seem like he's really gonna be an everyday kind of first baseman. In 238 at-bats, he had 10 homers, 12 doubles, and a triple to give him 31 RBIs, 269 average, 342 on base, 454 slugging, and a 796 OPS. For those 79 games, he was a very productive first baseman. Defensively, he's below average. He plays second base, he plays catcher. He's more of a utility man, so he doesn't fit perfectly for me at first base, but he did have a decent season. I just can't put him much higher just yet. After an extremely disappointing season in 2019, Jesus Aguilar falls in at number 25 for me in first base. 2018 was a magical season for Jesus Aguilar. Aguilar had been a journeyman his entire career prior to 2018, but he went off that year, hitting 35 homers, an OPS at 890, finished 16th in the MVP voting, made the All-Star team. 2019 was the complete opposite. Went back to just being a very average player. In fact, probably below average. In 131 games, he hit 12 homers and 12 doubles. That was split between Milwaukee and Tampa Bay. 714 OPS is bad. 236 batting average, 325 on base, 389 slugging. For a guy who had a slugging percentage way above 500 the years prior, 389, that's bad. And again, defensively, not much, more of a DH. So Aguilar, 25. Oh, this pains me to do it because he's one of the best baseball players of all time, but Albert Pujols, 24th best first baseman. Pujols is old, it's just plain and simple. His body is just not able to do what it was during his prime, and his numbers have definitely taken a dip. Now, he can still hit a home run or two. He hit 20 home runs last year, 20 doubles, drove in 93 RBIs, but offensively, he's pretty much falling below average nowadays when everyone can hit 20 homers. He still doesn't strike out a lot. He is the machine, but the production at the plate really is just not very good anymore, and he pretty much needs to hit the ball past the outfielders to get a hit now because he is so slow. Defensively, he's more of a DH now. I put him at number 24 because he still does have some value. He has some pop in his bat, but the combination of injuries, getting older, and his numbers declining is what's going to put him at number 24 for me. Coming in at number 23, we have San Francisco Giants first baseman Brandon Belt, who is another player who's just very disappointing. Last year, the balls were juiced, and he only hit 17 home runs. I understand San Francisco is a pitcher's park, but Brandon Belt just did not have a great year. 234 batting average, which was a career low, 339 on base, again, career low, 403 slugging, 742 OPS, like it was probably the worst season of his career. And even defensively, which Brandon Belt has been known to be pretty solid at first base, he struggled a bit in 2019. so Brandon Belt's dropping down this list to 23. I can't believe I'm doing this, but at number 22, I got G-Man Choy, who for the first 3 seasons of his career really wasn't much of a player, but it looks like in 2019, he may have found a home in Tampa Bay. He had a really nice season. 19 homers, 20 doubles, 2 triples, and 63 RBIs. Hits for a decent average, gets on base really well, 363 on base with a 459 slugging, gave him an OPS above 800. That's a fantastic season, especially for a guy in G-Man Choy who really hadn't done much in previous seasons. Never really got a chance, to be fair, either. Defensively, not great, more of a DH, so for those reasons, I like him here at number 22. At 21, let's go with new World Series champion Ryan Zimmerman, who is technically not on the Nationals as of this time, but I fully expect him to re-sign. Zimmerman was only kept to 52 games in 2019 and 85 in 2018, but when he is on the field, we do see pretty good production, and in his last fully healthy year in 2017, he had a really good season, probably the best one of his career. Zimmerman's a good hitter, doesn't necessarily walk a lot, but can definitely hit the gaps, hit some home runs. He's a good leader, plays a decent first base, not great. I would put him at the number 21 spot because I think with a full healthy season, you're gonna see much better numbers. It's just whether or not Ryan Zimmerman can actually be healthy for a full season. That's always been a problem of his. Getting the top 20 started, I have got Michael Chavis of the Boston Red Sox, who I'm gonna consider more as a first baseman right now than any other position. Chavis got off to a really strong start with the Red Sox, but started to cool down as the season went on. 95 games, 18 homers, 10 doubles, and a triple to give him 58 RBIs, 254 batting average with a 322 on base, 444 slugging, and a 766 OPS. For a full season, he'd have really nice numbers like 30 homers, close to 20 doubles. That would be a great 162, but he's just not yet at that level of like being better than an average first baseman just yet. He's still young, so there's plenty of time. And again, he's not really playing his main position, so I have to dock him down here to number 20 because he's just not an all-around first baseman. Yeesh, talk about a bad contract. At number 19, we got Eric Hosmer of the Padres. I'm sure the Padres probably regret giving him an 8-year, $144 million contract because he just hasn't lived up to that price tag. He hasn't been absolutely atrocious, but he hasn't been very good. In his 2 seasons with the Padres, he's averaging about 20 homers, 80 RBIs, 30 doubles a season, which is nice, but he's like a 260 hitter, 315 on base, right around 400 slugging, and OPS right in the 725 range. Like, that's pretty much bang on average as a first baseman. Defensively, Hosmer used to be considered at the top in the major leagues, but he has really taken a step back the last couple years in San Diego, so I'm gonna put him just below the middle of this list at number 19. Former University of South Carolina Gamecock Christian Walker comes in as the 18th best first baseman in Major League Baseball. Walker finally got to play every single day in 2019 with the Arizona Diamondbacks and had a really strong season. 29 homers, 26 doubles, 73 RBIs, 348 on base, 476 slugging to give him an 825 OPS. Those are really good numbers for a first baseman offensively. On the defensive side, he is just average, but when you swing the bat like he did in 2019, it really doesn't matter. He had a really strong season. I can't put him much higher just yet because we've only really seen 1 full season of him, and he's a little bit older in age, so what's his prime really gonna be? But as a former Gamecock myself, I'm glad to see Christian Walker playing well. He's coming in at number 18. For the 17th best first baseman in Major League Baseball, let's go with CJ Cron. Cron had a strong season in 2018 with the Rays, ended up with him landing with the Minnesota Twins in 2019. Strong start to the first half of the season, then second half really took a step back, but I still think CJ Cron is a very solid player. Now, with the glove, a bit clunky. He's got a bit of what you would call stone hands. I mean, I've seen him just straight up drop a baseball that's thrown to him, but his bat's really good, absolutely destroys left-handed pitching, had an OPS above 1,000 against him this year. He's definitely got a lot of power, definitely got a lot of pop. It's just finding the right spot for him because the Twins, they got rid of him. So he's currently without a team, but I think he'll find a home somewhere in 2020. Pretty solid first baseman. Would you look at this? Another former University of South Carolina Gamecock coming in at number 16. That's Justin Smoak. Smoak, similar to a lot of the guys on this list, a free agent in 2020. Played with the Toronto Blue Jays the last couple seasons. 2019, he definitely took a step back after having back-to-back seasons with an OPS above 800. Last year, he only hit 22 homers with 16 doubles, 208 average, which is close to his career worst, 342 on base, which is nice, that's an improvement, 406 slugging, low, and a 748 OPS, definitely low. At first base defensively, not very strong, but he is a switch hitter, probably profiles more as a first baseman, but I do like what Justin Smoak has the potential to do, so I like him at number 16. He's probably my definition of an average first baseman, which means we're right at the halfway point of the video. The 15th best first baseman in baseball is going to be Eric Thames. After Jesus Aguilar and Travis Shaw couldn't perform last year, Eric Thames became the everyday first baseman for the Brewers. Had a really nice season. You know what you're getting with him. You're going to be getting a lot of home runs. You're going to be getting a lot of extra base hits. 25 homers, 23 doubles, 61 RBIs, and 369 at-bats. He does strike out a lot though, 140 strikeouts, 346 on base, 505 slugging, and 851 OPS. That's definitely above average offensively. On the defensive side, again, not super strong, but he can definitely swing the bat, left-handed power. I like Eric Thames a lot. Coming in at number 14, I've got Daniel Murphy, who is definitely one of my more disappointing players in 2019. I really thought he was going to go off in Colorado. Still had a solid season, but just not as good as I hoped, because in the previous couple years, we had seen Daniel Murphy go off, and of course, Colorado, hitter's ballpark. 2019, he had 13 homers with 35 doubles and a triple to give him 78 RBIs. Still hit for a decent average, 279, but a 328 on base and a 452 slugging, giving an OPS at 780 780, which was below the league average. First base is definitely his best position, but by no means is he a Gold Glover. I think the injuries are what slowed him down in 2019, so I fully expect him to come back strong in 2020. The guy can hit, and Coors is the perfect spot for him. For the 13th best first baseman in Major League Baseball, I'm gonna go with Reese Hoskins of the Philadelphia Phillies. Hoskins is a good young player, doesn't really hit for a high average and strikes out a lot, but he has an exceptional eye at the plate, led the National League in walks last year with 116, combine that with 29 homers, 33 doubles, and 5 triples, he definitely makes an impact on the field. 364 on base, that's exceptional with a 226 batting average. 454 slugging, you like to see that closer to the 500 range, but he was still an above average hitter with an 819 OPS. Defensively, not great. Reese Hoskins is probably one of my least favorite players in Major League Baseball, but that doesn't mean I'm clouding my judgment. He's gonna be a very good player for years to come. Just keeping him outside the top 10 right now at number 13. Man, Joey Votto, he got old really quickly, because now he's our 12th best first baseman in baseball, and I feel like I could probably put him even lower, but I need to give him some respect. The power has completely dropped off. 2 years in a row of 15 or less home runs. At least in 2018, he was still walking at a high percentage, finished with an OPS above 800, but in 2019, just wasn't good. 261 average, which is by far a career low. 357 on base, again, big career low. 411 slugging, that's below average, and a 768 OPS, it just doesn't get the job done. I don't know what happened to Joey Votto, like I used to fear him at the plate. Now I'm like, attack this guy, he's just a strange hitter. And defensively, as he's getting older, he's not as strong, but he's still Joey Votto. Like I still have a glimmer of hope that he's gonna come back one day and be the old player he once was. But going into his 36-year-old season, just not sure that's gonna happen anymore. Just missing out on the top 10. At number 11, we've got New York Yankees first baseman Luke Voight. Ever since making that switch from St. Louis to New York, Luke Voigt's career has finally taken a step forward, playing like the player the Cardinals thought they once had. He only played in 118 games in 2019 due to injury, but had a really nice season. 21 homers, 21 doubles, and a triple for 62 RBIs. 263 batting average with a 378 on base, which is exceptional. 464 slugging and an 842 OPS. Really good player offensively. Defensively, not great, but he is improving. I don't think he's one of the worst defensive first basemen in the league, just definitely not one of the best. Crushes right-hand pitching, so you get a little bit of a reverse split there. And I think if he had a fully healthy 2019, you would have seen him eclipse the 30 home run mark, have a much better season, and even then, an 842 OPS, that's really strong. Just misses out in the top 10. Getting our top 10 started at number 10, we've got Pittsburgh Pirates first baseman Josh Bell, whose first half of the season really carried his stats for 2019, because the second half was bad. But despite playing bad for half a year, listen to these numbers. 37 homers, 37 doubles, 116 RBIs, 277 batting average with a 367 on base, 569 slugging, and a 936 OPS. All that considering in the second half, he hit 233 with a 351 on base, 429 slugging, 780 OPS. His first half was disgusting. He hit 27 homers and 30 doubles in the first half. He had a total of 60 extra base hits in 88 games. Like, those are crazy numbers. He slowed down in the second half, but I still like him a lot. Switch hitter, pretty good first baseman. Josh Bell's definitely a top 10 guy. The 9th best first baseman in Major League Baseball is going to go to Houston Astros first baseman Yuli Gurriel, who went off in 2019. He had been a solid player the last couple seasons with the Astros, fit exactly what they needed, but he had the best season of his career by far last year. 31 homers, 40 doubles, and 2 triples for 104 RBIs. When you have over 70 extra base hits in a season, you're doing something right. A 298 average with a 343 on base, 541 slugging, and an 884 OPS. Disgusting season. Yuli Gurriel swings the bat great. He's clutch. He runs the bases well. Big fan of Yuli Gurriel. Doesn't strike out. If he can continue to play like that, it's going to be tough. He's going into his 36-year-old season. He makes the Astros an even better team than they already are. Coming in at the number 8 spot, I'm going to go with Carlos Santana of the Cleveland Indians. Signed that big contract with the Phillies. Didn't work out. Had a bad season. Traded. Ends up on the Indians and went back to his old form. In fact, better than his old form. Had the best season of his career. 34 homers, 30 doubles, and a triple for 93 RBIs. Walked 108 times last season and only struck out 108. Switch hitter, hit 281 with a 397 on base, 515 slugging, and 911 OPS. Those are disgustingly good offensive numbers, especially with the fact that he's a switch hitter. And again, first base really isn't his first position, but the defense really doesn't hurt him too much because he has an OPS above 900. Carlos Santana had a fantastic year, and I fully expect him to help that offense again in 2020. For the 7th best first baseman in baseball, I've got Max Muncie, and yes, he is going to appear on my second baseman list as well, because he's that good at both positions, and the Dodgers use him pretty much at both. So at first base, he's the 7th best. 35 homers, 22 doubles, 98 RBIs. The Dodgers found him as a diamond in the rough, had a great 2018 season, really good 2019, 374 on base, 515 slugging, 889 OPS. Exceptional defender. Like, Max Muncie's a complete package. He's a really good player. You'd like to see that average a little higher. When you're hitting 35 homers, walking as much as he does, doesn't really bother you. 7th best first baseman in baseball. For the 6th best first baseman in baseball, we've got Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox. Re-signed with them this offseason, which I thought was a very good move. He's actually a really solid first baseman. Look at his numbers since joining Major League Baseball. He's been really good pretty much every single season. Last year included. 33 homers, 38 doubles, 123 RBIs, which was the most in the American League. A 284 average, 330 on base, 503 slugging, 834 OPS, puts him way above the average at first base. His batting average always hovers right around 300. Doesn't walk a lot, struck out a little more than we'd like to see, but Jose Abreu just absolutely mashes, so you don't really mind his defense at first base not being great. More of a DH, but when you hit like him, you need his bat in the lineup any way you can. So, getting our top 5 started, I got my boy Big Meat Pete Alonso. What a rookie season Pete Alonso had at first base last year for the New York Mets. He almost didn't start the season with them, but he ended up playing in 161 games last year, 53 homers, 30 doubles, and 2 triples to give him 120 RBIs, a 260 batting average with 358 on base, 583 slugging, and 941 OPS. Defensively, he's still not great, but he showed big improvements, and let me tell you, he's one of the best scoopers in the league. The guy doesn't miss anything on the ground. He finished 7th in the MVP voting, won the Rookie of the Year, was an All-Star, Home Run Derby champion. The list goes on and on for Pete Alonso. What a fantastic rookie season. Broke the rookie home run record, formerly held by Aaron Judge. LOL, Yankee fans. Like, Big Meat Pete is just good. He is a beast. He's going to be a beast for a long time. I can't wait to see this guy play with the Mets. I'm very excited. He is a top 5 first baseman in the league. Dropping down a little bit on my rankings at number 4, we've got Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals, who still had a very solid year last year with them. It's just, it was a downgrade because he's a career lifetime 900 OPS hitter, and his OPS last year was 821, but still, very good year. 34 homers, 25 doubles, 97 RBIs, 260 batting average, which was a career low, 346 on base, career low, slugging at 476, career low, OPS at 821, career low. So yes, while he did have career lows, he still had a very good season, which is a testament to how good he was in the years past. I think in 2020, we can expect to see him go back to his MVP type form because Paul Goldschmidt really is that good. Combine that with stellar defense at first base, and he can run the bases pretty well. He stole 20 bases. He stole 18 bases back in 2017. Paul Goldschmidt's without a doubt a top 5 first baseman in the game. Gonna put him at number 4. For the 3rd best first baseman in Major League Baseball, I gotta go with Matt Olson of the Oakland A's. Only 25 years old, going into his 26-year-old season. Gold glove defense at first base. His glove is fantastic. He makes amazing plays, part of the reason why the A's are so good. Him, Chapman, Simeon, and nothing gets by them on the ground. Oh, and he hits for pretty good power too with his left-handed swing. 36 homers, 26 doubles, 91 RBIs, 267 batting average, 351 on base, 545 slugging, and 896 OPS. Combine that with his stellar defense, you are getting a complete package of Matt Olson, and he only played in 127 games last year. 483 at-bats. Like, his season, if he was fully healthy, dude's getting probably close to 50 home runs. Matt Olson's a beast. Which means we're down to the final 2, and the 2nd best first baseman in Major League Baseball, it's Anthony Rizzo. Since joining the Chicago Cubs, Rizzo has been the definition of consistent. He hits close to 280 every year with a 380 on base, slugging percentage right around 500, OPS almost at 900 every year, 30 home runs, 100 RBIs, 30 doubles. He's gonna play 150 plus games a season. Plays great defense at first base, another fantastic fielder. He's a leader. Anthony Rizzo is a really good player. Sometimes I feel like he somehow gets underrated at first base. Like, yeah, he doesn't hit 50 homers, but he does everything you want out of your first baseman. He's unbelievable. The number 2 spot for me. Because at number 1, the only choice can be Freddie Freeman. He's in a league of his own. He's just so good. Since playing in his first full season with the Braves back in 2011, Freddie Freeman's been pretty dominant. 294 batting average, 380 on base, 505 slugging, and OPS at 885. Last year, he went off again. 38 homers, 34 doubles, 121 RBIs, 295 batting average, 389 on base, 549 slugging, and 938 OPS. Like, the guy is just an all-around beast. He's such a hard player to strike out, hits lefties extremely well, plays really good defense at first base. He even played third base at one point for the Braves. There's not much that Freddie Freeman can't do. When he steps up to the plate, I'm pretty confident he's gonna get a hit every time. He's an annoying hitter. He shortens up when he needs to, hits home runs when he has to. I hate that he's on the Braves, but man, he's a fun player to watch. So those are my rankings for the best first baseman from every team in Major League Baseball. I would love to know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Remember to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, as well as subscribe so you don't miss out on the 12 days of rankings as we lead up to Christmas, ending it with the top 50 overall players in the league. Remember to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links are in the description. I'm always talking baseball over there. Thank you so much for watching and supporting this series, guys. It's taken a lot of time and effort, but I think it's going to pay off, and hopefully you are enjoying it. Gonna wrap up the video there. You guys know the drill. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you guys all tomorrow for another day of rankings. Bye.